July 1st, 2019. 5 in the morning. I walked out of St. Raphael's Hospital knowing I would never return. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. My heart pounded so violently I could feel it in my throat. And buried deep in my jacket pocket, my phone held a photograph. A single image I should have deleted the moment I saw it. A picture of something that shouldn't exist. My name is Michael Torres. I worked night security for 5 years before St. Raphael's. 5 years patrolling empty buildings, abandoned warehouses, closed factories, derelict structures waiting for demolition. I've witnessed strange things during those years. Shadows moving independently, unexplainable sounds echoing through vacant halls. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared me for what I encountered at St. Raphael's Hospital. The hospital sits on the outskirts of Portland, Oregon, built in 1923. Shut down in 2015 after a series of scandals broke. Patient abuse, medical malpractice, suspicious deaths that were never properly investigated. The main building stands 7 stories tall, 240 rooms, 3 operating theaters, a morgue in the basement level. After closure, everything remained untouched. The hospital beds, medical equipment, patient files scattered everywhere, as if everyone had fled suddenly and never looked back. March 2019. The city hired me with a straightforward assignment: patrol the building 6 nights weekly, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Prevent vandals from breaking in. Keep squatters out. Simple work. Good pay. Solitary. Exactly what I was looking for at the time. My first shift passed uneventfully. Too uneventfully. I walked the corridors with my flashlight, walkie-talkie clipped to my belt. Moonlight filtered through grimy windows. Shadows danced across peeling walls. All perfectly normal. Expected. Just an old vacant building with its usual settling noises. The second night, I noticed something peculiar. 3rd floor. Room 307. The door stood partially open. I distinctly remembered closing it the previous night. Absolutely certain. I entered to investigate. The room appeared abandoned like all the others. A rusted metal bed frame. An overturned chair. Torn curtains swaying in the draft. Nothing unusual. I pulled the door firmly closed. Double-checked it was secure. Continued my rounds. 2 hours later, I passed by again. The door to 307 was open once more. Exactly the same position. Ajar about 6 inches. My pulse quickened slightly. I checked the entire hallway. Nobody there. No sounds. No signs of forced entry anywhere. I closed it again. Harder this time. This time I placed a strip of duct tape across the frame. If someone opened it, I'd know immediately. For in the morning, I returned to check. The tape remained intact, but the door stood wide open. The duct tape was still attached, unbroken, perfectly in place. The door had opened without the tape coming loose from either surface. Physically impossible. That's when I heard the noise. A metallic creaking coming from inside the room. Slow, rhythmic, like someone rocking back and forth on the metal bed frame. I switched on my flashlight and entered quickly. The room was completely empty, but the bed was still moving slightly, as if someone had just stood up from it. The following nights, the phenomena intensified. Doors opening by themselves. Lights flickering on in sections where electricity had been cut years ago. Elevators ascending and descending with nobody inside. And always, consistently. Room 307 at the center of it all. I started researching. Discovered that room 307 had a particular history. Between 2010 and 2015, 9 patients died there. 9 deaths in 5 years in the same room. All under strange circumstances. Sudden cardiac arrests in young, healthy patients. Inexplicable complications during routine procedures. The nursing staff refused to work there. They called it the death room. 1 week after I started, something happened that changed everything. It was a Tuesday, 3 in the morning. I was conducting my usual rounds on the 5th floor when I heard a voice. A woman's voice. Clear, distinct, coming from the main corridor. Help me. I froze completely. My blood ran cold. I grabbed my flashlight and moved toward the sound. The hallway was empty, completely deserted, but the voice continued. Please, someone help me. Closer now, coming from the room, directly in front of me. Room 512. I pushed the door open slowly. The room was pitch black. I swept my light across the space. Nothing. Nobody. But I felt something. A presence. An intense cold that didn't come from outside, but seemed to emanate from within the room itself. Why won't anyone help me? The voice was right beside me now, so close I could feel breath against my ear. I spun around. Nothing visible. I ran out of the room, down the corridor, the stairwell, the main lobby. Didn't stop until I was outside, in the parking lot, under the security lights. I almost quit that night. Seriously considered it, but something held me back. Part of me wanted to understand, needed to know what was really happening inside that hospital. Plus, the money was excellent. I had bills to pay. I convinced myself it was my imagination. Stress, exhaustion, isolation, nothing more than that. If you're enjoying this story, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more accounts like this one. And tell me in the comments what story you want to hear next. May 2019. 2 months into the job, the paranormal activity became impossible to deny. Each night brought something new, more intense, more terrifying than the last. I began hearing footsteps, not just creaking floorboards or building sounds. Clear footsteps, deliberate, following the same path every single night, from the main entrance to the 3rd floor, east corridor, heading toward room 307, and they always stopped directly outside that door. One night, I decided to follow them. Armed with my body camera, I filmed the entire route. The footsteps climbed the main staircase. I followed at a distance. The sound was perfectly audible in the silence. Hard soles on tile flooring. Someone walking normally. Not running. Not hiding. Just walking as if it were the most natural thing in the world. On the 3rd floor, the footsteps turned left, toward 307. I followed, my heart hammering in my chest, afraid they might hear it beating. The footsteps stopped outside the door. I rounded the corner, camera raised, flashlight on. The corridor was empty, absolutely vacant, but the door to 307 was opening slowly, all by itself, inch by inch, and from inside came a light, a faint blue glow I'd never seen before. I checked my camera, still recording. I approached the door cautiously. The blue light emanated from the ceiling, near the window. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat, and in that light, I saw something that made me step back in horror. A silhouette, standing beside the bed, facing away from me, motionless, the shape of a woman in a hospital gown, her long hair hanging down past her shoulders, and though I couldn't see her face, I knew she was aware of my presence. I whispered, "Hello." The silhouette didn't move. The blue light continued its gentle pulsing, and then, very slowly, the head began to turn. Not the shoulders, not the body, just the head, rotating at an angle that shouldn't be anatomically possible. A full 180 degrees until I could see her face. Except she didn't have a face, just a dark void, a black emptiness where features should have been. And from that void came a sound, a low moan that escalated into a piercing shriek. I ran, dropped my camera, my flashlight, everything. Took the stairs 3 at a time, through the lobby, toward the exit. Never looked back, not once. Got in my car and drove until the sun came up. I called my supervisor the next day, told him I was quitting. Family emergency, personal crisis, any excuse that wouldn't make him think I was losing my mind. But he convinced me to come back, just one more night, to retrieve my equipment, my camera, my badge. He doubled my pay for that final shift. I accepted. What a mistake. June 30th, 2019. My last night. I arrived at 10 p.m. with a simple plan. Get in, retrieve my camera from the 3rd floor, grab my belongings from the security office, get out. 30 minutes maximum. The building felt different that night. Darker, more oppressive, as if it knew I was leaving and didn't like it. I climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor. The hallway was exactly as I'd left it. My camera still lying on the floor outside 307. I picked it up, checked it still worked, and made the mistake of reviewing the last footage recorded. What I saw froze my blood. The video showed exactly what I remembered seeing. The footsteps, the door opening, the blue light, the faceless silhouette. But there was something else. Something I hadn't noticed in my panic. Behind the main figure, in the shadows of the room, there were others. 6, 7, maybe more. All standing, all motionless, all facing toward me. And when the first silhouette had turned its head, all the others had done the same. All simultaneously, all staring at me with those dark voids where faces should have been. I turned off the camera. My hand was shaking so badly, I nearly dropped it again. I started walking toward the stairwell, slowly at first, then faster. Then I ran. But something changed. The lights went out, all of them at once. The corridor plunged into absolute darkness. My flashlight was in my car. My phone was dead. I was in complete blackness, and I heard the doors, every door in the corridor, opening, one after another, slowly, the creak of rusted hinges echoing in the darkness. 30 rooms, 30 doors, all opening simultaneously. I ran blindly, my hands touching the walls to guide me, my feet stumbling on uneven flooring. And behind me, I heard footsteps, many footsteps, all moving together, getting closer. I reached the stairwell, descended the steps 4 at a time. Second floor, first floor, main lobby. The exit was straight ahead. 50 feet, 40, 30. The footsteps were in the stairwell now, descending, faster than me, much faster. I could hear their breathing, or rather, the absence of breathing, just movement, shuffling, sliding. 20 feet, 10. I hit the door, my hand searching for the handle in the darkness. Found it, turned, pushed, locked. Impossible. I'd left it unlocked. I was certain, but it was locked, from the inside, as if something wanted to keep me from escaping. The footsteps were in the lobby now, just feet behind me. I could feel their presence. Cold, hungry, angry. I kicked the door. Again. The glass cracked. Another kick. The glass shattered. I reached through, cut my palm on the shards, found the lock, turned it. The door flew open. I burst out, into the parking lot, to my car. Didn't look back. Never again. Started the engine and drove. Drove until the hospital was just a dot in my rearview mirror. Only when I got home, hands washed and bandaged, did I check my phone. It wasn't dead. It had 90% battery, and in my photo gallery was a picture, a photograph I hadn't taken, captured at 3:42 in the morning, while I was standing in the third floor corridor. The photograph showed room 307, viewed from inside, and in the doorway, I could see myself, facing away, my flashlight off, surrounded by figures, dozens of figures, all touching me, their hands on my shoulders, my back, my head. I deleted the photo immediately, emptied the trash, factory reset my phone, but the image remains burned into my memory. I still see it when I close my eyes. St. Raphael's Hospital was demolished in August 2019, 2 months after my last night, officially due to structural safety concerns. But I heard rumors, other security guards, other experiences, some worse than mine. One guard was found wandering the parking lot at dawn, unable to speak. Another simply vanished. They never found him. The land is empty now, just rubble and wild grass growing. But neighborhood residents say you can still see lights at night. Blue pulsing lights in the shadows where the third floor used to be. And if you get too close, you can hear voices. Voices asking for help. I don't work night security anymore. I can't. Not after St. Raphael's. Now I work days. In bright places. Full of people. Where I'm never alone. But sometimes, late at night, my phone lights up by itself. And for a split second, before I turn it off, I see that photograph. The photo I deleted. The photo that shouldn't exist anymore. Showing me standing in that corridor, surrounded by those figures, in that hospital that no longer exists. This is the true story of Michael Torres, and it's still happening today.